Okay, buckle up. This is the story of how my quiet suburban life was turned upside down by solar panels, a power-hungry OA president named Brenda, and a network of surprisingly sophisticated security systems. My name is Arthur, and I moved into the Harmony Glades neighborhood 3 years ago, seeking peace and tranquility. I found it. For a while. Harmony Glades was meticulously planned, a symphony of manicured lawns, perfectly trimmed hedges, and houses that all seemed to whisper, "We're doing just fine." The Homeowners Association OA was the conductor of this suburban orchestra, ensuring everything stayed in perfect harmony, or so they thought. I joined the OA board shortly after moving in, thinking I could contribute to the community and maybe even nudge things toward a more sustainable direction. My main goal was to install solar panels. I had always been environmentally conscious, and the idea of generating my own clean energy was appealing. I did my research, consulted with installers, and even presented my plan to the OA board. They were surprisingly receptive. Turns out, a few of the board members, including the president at the time, Mr. Henderson, had already installed discrete, solar panels integrated into their roofing materials. They recognized the potential for long-term energy savings and reduced carbon footprint. I went ahead with my installation, opting for high-efficiency panels that were a bit more visible. They weren't outrageous, just a standard design mounted on my roof. I figured any visual impact was outweighed by the environmental benefits. That's when Brenda entered the picture. Brenda was a force of nature, a whirlwind of perfectly coiffed hair and perfectly sculpted outrage. She lived 3 houses down from me and was known for her meticulously maintained petunias, and her unwavering commitment to the aesthetics of Harmony Glades. She hadn't been on the OA board because she wanted to preserve the neighborhood's beauty, which, in her mind, translated to unwavering conformity. Brenda hated my solar panels. She claimed they were an eyesore, that they ruined the curb appeal of the neighborhood, and that they set a dangerous precedent for other homeowners to deviate from the established aesthetic. She conveniently ignored the fact that several other houses already had solar panels, albeit more subtly integrated ones. Her complaints started subtly. Passive-aggressive comments at OA meetings, pointed stares when I was gardening, and a constant barrage of emails questioning the legality of my installation, despite the OA's prior approval. Then, things escalated. One morning, I woke up to find my solar panels painted black. Not entirely, just enough to significantly reduce their efficiency. I was stunned. Who would do something like that? I immediately suspected Brenda, but I had no proof. I cleaned the panels, fuming, and installed motion sensor lights around my house. The next week, it happened again. More black paint. This time, I was livid. I reported the vandalism to the police, but without any evidence, they couldn't do much. I knew I needed to catch the culprit in the act. The OA elections were coming up, and Brenda had announced her candidacy for president. Her platform was simple: restore Harmony Glades to its former glory, which meant getting rid of my solar panels. I knew if she won, she'd find a way to force me to remove them, one way or another. Then, things took an unexpected turn. Mr. Henderson, the current OA president, pulled me aside after a particularly contentious meeting. "Arthur," he said, lowering his voice, "there's something you should know about your solar panels." He explained that my solar panels weren't just powering my home. They were connected to a larger, secret system. The previous OA board, in an effort to improve neighborhood security and reduce energy costs, had approved a pilot program. A network of solar panels, strategically placed on a few select houses including mine, was designed to supplement the power grid for the neighborhood's security systems and street lights. The idea was to have a backup source of power in case of outages and to reduce reliance on the traditional grid. "Your panels," Mr. Henderson confided, "are critical to the system. We chose your house because of its optimal sun exposure. We knew you were environmentally conscious and would be a reliable partner." He also revealed that there were a few discrete, isolated security cameras specifically designed to monitor the solar panels, hidden from plain sight. They were put there in case of vandalism. Of course, the system was not foolproof and there were some blind spots. I was shocked. I had no idea my solar panels were part of such an important operation. Armed with this new information, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. I wasn't just generating clean energy for myself, I was contributing to the security and well-being of the entire neighborhood. I decided to fight back against Brenda, not just for myself, but for the good of Harmony Glades. The week before the election, the security system started acting up. Street lights flickered and went out, and the neighborhood's security cameras experienced intermittent blackouts. It didn't take a genius to figure out what was happening. Brenda was systematically sabotaging my solar panels, and in turn, the entire neighborhood's security. I reviewed the footage from the hidden security cameras. It wasn't long before I found what I was looking for: Brenda, clad in a dark jumpsuit, creeping onto my property in the dead of night, armed with a bucket of black paint and a brush. The camera angle was perfect, capturing her face in clear detail as she meticulously coated my solar panels with paint. The next day, I presented the evidence to the OA board and the police. The board was stunned, and the police immediately launched an investigation. Brenda vehemently denied the allegations, but the video evidence was irrefutable. The OA held an emergency meeting to discuss Brenda's actions. The evidence was presented, and Brenda was given a chance to defend herself. She ranted about the aesthetics of the neighborhood and how my solar panels were ruining everything. But her impassioned pleas fell on deaf ears. The board voted unanimously to impeach Brenda from her position as president and to permanently ban her from serving on the OA board in the future. The police arrested her for vandalism and tampering with public utilities. But the story doesn't end there. The damage Brenda caused to my solar panels was extensive, and the neighborhood's security system was significantly compromised. The OA decided to sue Brenda for the cost of replacing the solar panels, and for the emotional distress she caused to the residents of Harmony Glades. The lawsuit was a long and arduous process, but in the end, justice prevailed. Brenda was found guilty and ordered to pay a hefty sum to cover the cost of the damages. She was forced to sell her house to cover the expenses, and she left Harmony Glades in disgrace. With Brenda gone, Harmony Glades returned to a semblance of normalcy. The OA implemented stricter regulations to prevent future acts of vandalism, and the neighborhood's security system was upgraded with even more advanced technology. As for me, I became something of a local hero. My solar panels were repaired, and I continued to generate clean energy for my home and the neighborhood's security system. I even started a community garden, promoting sustainability and environmental awareness in Harmony Glades. Looking back, I realized that Brenda's actions, while destructive and misguided, ultimately brought our community closer together. We learned the importance of standing up for what we believe in, of protecting our environment, and of preserving the harmony of our neighborhood, not through conformity, but through unity and understanding. Harmony Glades became more harmonious than ever, not in spite of the solar panels, but because of them. And I, Arthur, the unassuming suburbanite with the ugly solar panels, became a symbol of change, a reminder that even in the most meticulously planned communities, progress and sustainability can shine through, even in the face of adversity. And all it took was a little bit of sun, a lot of black paint, and a few well-placed security cameras.